Hi there, welcome back. Thanks for being here. So, I hope you have been watching my previous learnings. So, if you have not watched yet, please go back and watch all those learnings because we have been discussing right from the scratch and all things are connected. So, if you have not watched yet, please go back and give it a watch so that you can better learn here and the upcoming learning would be smooth as well. So especially in our previous session we have discussed about how to set up a project and how to create a runner class and how to write a feature file. So we have just talked about all the basics and how to create a feature file, and we have discussed about the Gherkin keywords, and we have discussed about the karate methods, and we have taken an example of Jira, one of the famous and popularly used project management tool for our automation practice purpose. So I've just created a profile and just created a project, and we have hit one basic endpoint, so which is a get call. So what we have got was the number of issues present in a particular project. And after that we have also seen how Karate is generating report for us, which is an HTML file, and we have seen the step by step reporting structure and how much time each step has taken, whether or not there were failures, all that was seen. So now in this video, as a connection to the previous learning, so I would like to explore a bit on the response what we have received in the previous learning, because we haven't actually looked into the response and put in assertions. Guys, believe me, so the main purpose of API test is to validate the response, because we do not have any UI here just to see how the look and feel and how the field appears. So all we get is some response in the form of JSON or in XML format. So it is really required to put in some powerful validation, because API is powerful and it is the heart of any application, because this is a business layer where the complete functionality is driven. Yeah, because when you are working with an application, whether you do a front end call or whether you do a call from one application to another application, so every click you do or everything, every connection that you try to make is an API call that triggers at the backend. Yeah, so in this video we'll just see the response. We'll explore through the response and see what fields are there for us and how to put in some of the uh, assertions. Yeah, let's get started, guys. So the feature file that you are looking in my screen is just the same that what we have seen yesterday, and let me just run this feature file again to see how the response comes. And again, as I was discussing yesterday, the way that you can run a particular feature file by two means. You can right click and run this one, run as a Cucumber feature file. The other way you can do is that just go to Karate Learning, just go open up your runner class, and then you can run this as well. So there are two means, so let me just run via runner class, which is a JUnit test. So I have just given a run, so it is executing, and let me just open up the console. Let me just double click it. So Karate has printed all the response in the console. So let's just see what this response has and how they're actually printing. So these are all the step-by-step procedure of like how they communicate with Jira API and print results. And if you see, the status code is 200. Yes, we are expecting the same. That is the reason we have seen the test case as passed. And we have also seen how the response prints. Okay, so since we have asked to print the response in our feature file as a last step, so they have printed the response in the console. So if you have looked into this particular response, you will see it has total number of issues, which is 5. Let us go to the project and see whether we have 5 records or more than that, because validation is important, because we need to verify whether Karate does the right thing for us or not. Okay, and we have a field called maximum result, so which means that only 50 records can be displayed at a time. and we have id present, and we have different fields, like it could be avatar id, it could be name, whether it is a bug or a user story or a subtask, and we will be having a description as well. Yeah, so now what I would like to do is I would like to put in some assertions. Yeah, so now we have printed the response, and now let's see whether I have total number of bugs is 5 or not. Yeah, so for that what I will do, I'll just write another step, and match is the keyword basically you use to put in assertions. So and match response dot total is the field that we have seen is equals to 5 or not. So I'm just saving it, and let's also put another assertion, so that we can run once and we can observe both of them together. So now what I'm interested is that, so I hope you guys have an understanding about the JSON message. So JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. So basically this body message is a means of communication. So irrespective of the technologies of application, so these messages can talk to different applications, and which is very easy to serialize and deserialize at the source or at the destination. So this is one of the widely used messaging type. So in if you actually look into this thing, you have a parent field, so which is expand, and you have total and maximum results. And if you see issues, issues is basically is an array. That's what we have seen, because if you have looked into the number of issues that were there in our project, we have 5 record types present. Yeah, so since all 5 records are issues type, so those were put in an array which is of issues. Yeah, so now I wanted to verify the id is 10004 for the issues. I mean the record 10004 is present in the issues or not. Okay, so just let me put in that assertion. So I'll add a step, another step, and match match response dot, since it is inside the issues, so I'll just need to put in issues as well, because this is how the JSON path for that particular element. So I'm interested in index 0 because we have 5 records and index always starts from 0 and ends with n minus 1. And now id, so I wanted to verify this particular value is 10004 or not. Okay, so now what we have done, from the response we have put in couple of assertions or validations. I wanted to check whether the total number of records count is 5, and also I wanted to see the record ID 10004 is present, and that is the first record. Okay, so let's just run this file very quickly and see what result we get. So I've just given a run and it is executing right now, and see the test case got passed. And if you open up the console, you can see this particular total actually passed. So because we haven't asked Karate to print anything, so since we haven't seen anything, so we did not get any failure, so which means the validation was successfully done. So now I would like to verify this from the UI perspective. So if I go to Jira, so this is my project. My project is the project which was created in my Jira profile. So let's see how many number of bugs are present. See, you have 5 issues present. So what we have got in the Karate response also the same. So now just check whether if we put any other number, whether the test case fails or not. So let's just give a run again. So run as a Cucumber feature file, and it has started executing, and now we have seen it has failed. So if you actually look into the error, like what is the error, so actual is 5 but the expected value is 4, so which means they cannot equate the result with the actual value. So see guys, we have 5 issues, and when I try to match that with the number 4, so test case got failed, so which is logical, right? So I'll just put in 5 now, so that our test case will actually pass, and we will not see any failures anymore. And that's it for this video, guys. In our next video, we'll be looking at into uh, more fields, like how to validate what is a description for a particular bug and what is the ID of a particular bug, because right now the call that we performed is giving the whole list of issues present, but in our next video we'll see one specific record, and from there we'll explore like what is the ID and who created that ID and what is the description of that ID, and just we'll match all that so that we can learn automating another endpoint, and we can also better understand how to traverse the JSON path. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you have learned something here, and I hope you have been enjoying my videos. This is the fourth video I've been doing, and please support me, guys. This is the first time that I've started doing sessions for this one, so please leave me a feedback as you watch this video, because that helps me to better myself, and to understand where I'm lagging and what is the area of improvement to be done. So thank you so much, guys. So you have a great rest of today.